understand English. You really do. You can listen to conversations, follow podcasts, watch videos, and even enjoy movies without subtitles. But the moment you try to speak, something happens. Your mind goes quiet. Your words don't come out. And inside, you feel stuck. If this feels familiar, stay with me because this video is for you. Welcome to Echo Your English. This channel exists for one simple reason, to help you feel English, not fear it. Here, we don't rush, we don't judge, we don't force perfect sentences. We let English enter your mind naturally, the way language is supposed to be learned. If you're someone who understands English but struggles to speak it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps this space reach more learners like you, and it keeps you connected to calm, real English every time you listen. Now let's talk honestly about freezing while speaking. This experience is not rare, it's not strange, and it's not a sign that you're bad at English. In fact, it often happens to learners who understand English quite well. The better you understand, the more you care, and the more you care, the more pressure you put on yourself. When you listen to English, your mind is relaxed. There is no demand placed on you. You are not required to respond. No one is waiting for your words. Your brain simply receives information. It listens, it connects meaning, it understands context. This is why listening feels easy and speaking feels hard. Speaking, on the other hand, feels like standing in front of a spotlight. Suddenly, your brain believes something important is at stake. You start thinking about mistakes, about pronunciation, about grammar, about what the other person might think. All of this happens very fast, often without you realizing it. And when your brain feels pressure, it does not perform well. It protects itself instead. This is why you freeze. Freezing is not forgetting. Freezing is fear interrupting access. Your English does not disappear, it gets blocked. Many learners think fluent speakers never feel this, that they speak without fear, but that's not true. The difference is not confidence, the difference is comfort. Fluent speakers are comfortable making mistakes. They don't wait for perfect sentences. They allow words to come out imperfectly, and because of that, they keep moving forward. As a learner, you often do the opposite. You try to prepare the perfect sentence before speaking. You translate in your head. You check grammar mentally. You worry about sounding correct. And all of this happens in seconds. It overloads your brain. Silence becomes the result. Another very important reason you freeze is translation. Many learners still think in their native language first. You create a sentence in your head, then you translate it into English. Then you adjust grammar. Then you check pronunciation. That's too many steps for real conversation. Conversation moves fast. Your brain cannot keep up with all that processing, so it stops. This is why listening is so powerful. When you listen enough, your brain starts storing English, not as translation. Words become reactions, not calculations. This takes time, and it takes patience. I want you to understand something deeply. Speaking is not proof of learning. Speaking is the result of learning, and the result always comes later. Think about how you learned your first language. You listened for years before you spoke clearly. No one corrected your grammar at every step. No one told you to be perfect. You were allowed to sound wrong. And slowly, speaking became natural. As an adult learner, you don't give yourself that same permission. You expect adult-level perfection immediately, and that expectation becomes the wall you keep hitting. Let me tell you this calmly. Your silence is not failure. Your silence is preparation. Every time you listen, your brain is working, even if you don't feel it, even if you don't notice progress. Language grows quietly before it shows itself. Another reason you freeze is comparison. You compare yourself to others, to fluent speakers, to people who speak confidently, and you think, why not me? But you don't see their journey. You don't see how long they listened, how many mistakes they made, how many awkward moments they survived. English fluency is not a talent, it's exposure plus time. If you freeze when speaking, the solution is not forcing yourself to talk more aggressively. The solution is creating safety. Your brain speaks when it feels safe. That's why this channel focuses so much on listening, on slow English, on calm English, on real English. When you listen without pressure, your brain absorbs patterns naturally, and one day, words will come out without asking permission. I also want to change the way you define speaking. Speaking does not mean long sentences. It does not mean perfect grammar. Speaking can start with one word, one short phrase, one simple response. That is still speaking. Fluency grows in layers. First, understanding, then short responses, then longer thoughts, then confidence. You cannot skip layers. If you freeze, don't fight it. Pause, breathe, allow silence. Silence is not your enemy. Silence is part of communication. Native speakers pause too. They hesitate. They restart sentences. Real English is full of imperfections. What you hear in movies or textbooks is not real-life English. Your accent is not a problem. Your mistakes are not a problem. The only real problem is believing that you must be perfect before you speak. You don't. You are allowed to sound like a learner. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to search for words. The more you accept this, the less your brain feels threatened, and the less it freezes. I want you to listen to English daily, not to memorize, not to study grammar, just to listen. Let English become familiar. Let it feel normal in your ears. That familiarity slowly turns into confidence. One day, you'll notice something small. A word comes out faster. A sentence feels easier. A response comes without effort. These moments are signs. They mean your brain is ready. Until then, be patient with yourself. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are learning exactly the way language is learned. If this video made you feel understood, stay with Echo Your English. Subscribe to the channel and keep listening. You don't need to rush. English will meet you where you are. And remember this, you don't freeze because you don't know English. You freeze because you care. And with time, care turns into confidence. Just keep listening.